we are back, and we are heading into our final series here tonight. We are gonna see All Inspirations P. Souza, who we've been watching quite a bit tonight, take on an old foe, a familiar face, in Guns and Roaches is kind of almost representative here, Ninkazi. Honestly, Koali, I gotta say, I could not be happier with the way that this turned out. I could not be happier. I'm over the moon. TVZ, the best thing to cast, the best thing to watch. A grudge match on top of it, even better. And you know Ninkazi's salty. It's so good, so satisfying. I feel like I am reaping what I've sown, and the harvest is good. Splitting in the top left position, we have Ninkazi, the Teal Terran Terror, tantrum throwing terror.
Jeez. And then in the bottom right hand position, we have from Team Fall Inspiration, again repping the pink. We have the pink Zerg, Chisosa.
I feel the hype is a little lower with you. I think are you staying within volume limits for Homegirl?
Well, it's like 4 a.m. now, so I'm a bit. It's been a long day.
It's been a long day. It's been a long day, and people better play nice. We've had some long games. If somebody's like, "There's not enough hype in the casters," hergadurgadurgadur.
Yeah.
I'm an angry Sally. I don't know why I called them a Sally. Yeah, but we out here. We chobos ourselves. We holding it down.
Yes.
Friggin' to the masses. Some legit games.
Some good games.
Some good games.
Okay, so so we just saw Pisosa play, and he, unfortunately for him, fell 2-1 to Polar in a really good series. I think both players pretty evenly matched, just some decision making, one way or the other affected them. In the end, Polar from Team UR was able to take it. So we're going to see Pisosa come right back, going to try and advance in second place. This Marine, really good for Ninkazi.
Denying scouting.
Maybe be able to get it. I don't know if he's going to be able to kill it. Probably not. But at least a bunch of damage is going to go down.
No, absolutely. But granted, this does allow the Zerg player here to realize that Reaper is not imminent. Bunker coming down. This is interesting.
Yeah, I feel like that's a bit of a fake.
Oh, absolutely.
Out of Ninkazi, just to force, looking at it work, they force 4-lings. When you're opening with a Marine opening, you don't really...
Run
You don't really
CV.
force, you don't really want to make lings, but Pisosa is being forced to make lings, or feels like he's
The
forced
Marines
to make
are
lings.
coming across the map, however.
Yeah, okay, that's actually a bit of an interesting decision.
The bunker's finishing.
Yeah, and they're going to run right into these... The bunker actually finished.
Are they... There's no way they're going to make it to that
the
bunker.
Lings are going to... the Marines are going to die really...
One almost made it.
Unfortunately for Ninkazi.
It does get
really
salvaged.
Interesting, I guess is the best word, decision making out of Ninkazi. Kind of just threw away an SCV and 2 Marines for very little gain.
Lost 175 at 5 minutes. So mining time from the SCV notwithstanding, not perhaps, I don't really know what his plan was there.
I feel like that's the kind of thing that might work like once or twice in a practice game, and you're like, oh, this is really cool. Like I have very limited investment, and I have a cool monkey rush. But then you like actually try it on the real game, and the guy just makes slings, and you're like, oh, that just looks silly.
But
so
if those Marines had made it.
Yeah, if they had made it, that would have forced quite a bit out from our Zerg player here. But it's obviously detrimental. And is slowing Ninkazi down, but not game ending or anything like that.
No.
Just annoying. And what's interesting is Pisosa has a really late third. Looks like he's about to take his third now. Probably a minute and a half to 2 minutes later than you'd want your third to be against a Marine opening. because when it's just a marine opening, like all you have to worry about is some sort of bio push. Don't really have to worry about Hellions, or the Hellions, if you do worry about them, would be much later.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, interesting decision. And he's going for Roach Warren, triple gas, but he's not mining out of this gas. Pisosa seems to like to get gas guises and not mine out of them. I'm not really sure if that's because he just gets a gases and then he scouts something he doesn't like.
This is a big marine force.
Yeah, it's a sizable force moving across the center of the map. Important to bear in mind that it has no upgrades whatsoever, no combat shields, no stim. In fact, those upgrades aren't even started. So not really going to be too effective against this 4-queen, 4-roach army. But
Zerg
gonna
player
force
not
units,
familiar
yeah.
does not know that this is coming. This is
Yeah.
definitely unconventional. Oh, he's starting a bunker.
Okay, I don't really...
Queens are gonna snipe this building SCV.
Oh, look at this
What on
massive
earth?
amount of lings, but he hasn't even started speed. This is a really
Needs
odd...
to stutter step these marines right now.
Yeah, very
There's the
odd
stutter step.
game. Odd push.
Incredibly.
But yeah, so pushing those marines back, losing all of his lings. So I guess in a weird way that worked out quite well for Ninkazi. Because
I don't really have an answer for what we're seeing.
Okay, now he's looking like he's just going into
Full
6
bio.
vacs on 2 base. With the 3rd command center started. So
These roaches are getting a
little bit
little,
of yeah.
little froggy.
Yeah, looking like Pisosa is going to do a 1-1 roach attack. 1-1 roach all in that everyone
God
loves.
bless those marines. They tried
Yeah.
so hard to live.
RIP Marines.
Yep.
But yeah, so a little bit of a interesting play out of Ninkazi. Very heavy bio focus.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that was worth it or not?
You know, I really don't. I really don't. I really don't. Because he needed to do something with it and didn't deny. It's just again like there needs to be intent behind what you're doing.
Yeah.
And
What you have to look at though is look at the drone count. Pisosa just now beginning to start to saturate his 3rd base. So look, it's the 10-minute mark. So he really delayed Pisosa being able to mine efficiently on that 3rd for so long. And look, now Pisosa is doing his thing where he invests huge amounts in drops. And look, it's just perfect timing. Then Kazi loads up the medevac just after Pisosa gets his spore crawlers down. So this is exactly what we saw the first series they played. Pisosa just seems to know the timings of Ninkazi so well. And look, he's going to scout this medevac. He scouts it like 3 times. He scouts it first with the initial overload, then with the Ling, then with this other overload. So he knows exactly what's going on. He knows what's in this medevac. He knows that it's coming to his main, and he knows exactly how to stop
he
it.
responds, yeah.
Yeah. So really just...
He might not expect this double prong, but no, he's got roaches here as well.
He's perfectly positioned.
This is gonna get rebuffed here.
Yeah. But the thing is, I don't know why Ninkazi is so averse to just the center pushing, like traditional Terran, just full frontal attacks. I guess the creep does help a little bit, but
Absolutely.
if you just look at what Pisosa has, it just has roaches.
Yeah.
Like only roaches, decent
Only
upgrades.
roaches. And
I mean, I
concussion
guess-
shell
yeah.
is completing 1-1, almost complete. I think he's gonna recognize what's coming, and he needs to. He starts tanks, starts marauders, combat shield on the way. I think he's gonna be well positioned to hold this. And as we've said over and over and over and over and over, roaches don't scale as well as the things that they face sometimes.
Yeah,
And I think
and
that they
it's-
don't
it's
scale
interesting.
against bio.
Because what went once so well for Pisos the first game is he really didn't heavily invest into roaches. And in this game, we can see he's already at 24 roaches, when I think last game he maxed out at like 15.
Yeah.
So he's already more heavily invested into roaches than he was that first game.
Absolutely.
And he's just now starting the Hydra production. So he's obviously, as Roach Hydra always does, going to have a very strong 2-2 push with like 170, 180 supply. But then beyond that, it's going to be interesting to see how effective that push is, just because it's not going to be as Hydra heavy. Ninkazi knows exactly what's going on. He knows he's going for roaches. That's what the tanks are for.
Yeah.
So just getting, and look how marine heavy he is.
He's
so basically
incredibly
Ninkazi
marine
has
heavy.
learned, yeah. And it's going to be interesting to see how Pisosa deals with those masses of Marines. Scanning
Scanning. Doesn't
doesn't
really
really
see
see
anything of
anything. Yeah,
value. Yeah. But I
it's
think the thing is, he realizes the army isn't massed there.
yeah.
But the creep, he's just already for all his scan and trying to figure out where the army is.
The creep is so far
Yeah,
advanced. Yeah.
it didn't buy him much of anything. It
But the
really
thing
didn't.
for Pisosa
He needs to have a
on this
fourth.
map, it's so hard to take. Yeah, exactly. It's so hard to take a fourth because you have to expand like a million miles away
Yeah.
at the fourth to the left, or you expand towards your opponent, and that just gets endlessly pushed to death. So it's really no good option.
Ninkazi taking a nod from you and deciding that he does want that traditional frontline advance, and he is
Yeah,
scanning, and he was looking for a siege line position, but he got spooked off of it. He's sees there's no base. He's trying really hard to get positioned with these tanks, I think is what all these scans mean. And then he proceeds towards previously unscanned territory.
yeah. So they're both maxed.
Does he see
Pisosa
these
is ahead on
roaches?
upgrades.
He sees
Yeah,
these
sees them.
rocks.
He needs
He
to
needs to
siege
siege
up.
up, and here he is. He's waiting for it. Has the tanks in
Oh, this
position.
is great positioning for Ninkazi.
Incredibly
Yeah,
well
just
timed. That is so
ideally
fortunate.
what you want. And look, his 2-2 is about to finish, overextending a little bit. Not really sure why he's
Overextending.
choosing to fight here.
Yeah,
He needs to retreat
the
back
tanks
to
are
his
what.
tank line. Yeah. He needs to retreat back to his tank line and wait for 2-2.
Oh,
Oh, and look, yeah, the tank's just ripping
masturbated.
apart the Hydras.
Yeah.
Not the fight you want as a Zerg player
No.
here. And
No,
that's
because you
gonna
need
be
to again. You need to press with the
Yeah.
roaches because that's like a timing aggression thing. And he was chilling on the bases, 2-2, and he let the Terran player get in a strong position. And I think
Yep.
now he's just gonna try and continue to force out things, hold, and do that Terran-style parade push, attrition march. And as long as he has tanks, he can deny this mining.
Yeah, and that was just like, what does Pisosa have? He doesn't have an infestation pit. He doesn't have. Oh, he doesn't have an infestation pit. Sorry, but he doesn't have hive on the way. He really doesn't have anywhere to go besides try and survive until he gets hive, gets vipers, gets a 3-3, starts moving towards the Broodlords slowly. But then Kazi, all he has to do is just power the bio, power the tanks, just keep pushing.
He needs to. He has some heavy saturation on this third. Probably should have been getting a fourth on the back of that aggression. That's what he should have been doing. And I think this Ling over here sniped the SCV that was supposed to be making it. And I think that would explain why that is what it is. But he absolutely needed to be building his fourth on the back of that.
Yeah, just adding on additional barracks. I really feel right now that Pisosa is in a fairly commanding position. I mean, sorry, Ninkazi is in a fairly commanding position over Pisosa, just because Pisosa really doesn't have, like, I don't see the timing that he has to win the game, except if this game lasts forever and he's able to get up to 3-3 and the Broodlords. Because he just
a little bit
exposed. Here we go.
Does move forward, but he doesn't focus fire the tanks.
Yeah.
And he does kind of a move here.
Yeah, pretty bad positioning for
not
Ninkazi.
good.
Kind of trapped. Fighting, but look, it's just it's Hydras against
bad.
Marine.
It was bad for the Zerg player.
Yeah.
Tries to concave, but that's contingent on everything hitting at once.
Yeah. And then just look at his bank. He doesn't have enough to remax, and he's down 40 supply as a Roach Hydra player against Bio.
Yeah.
Being down 40 supply against Terran is just so bad in any position, but as Roach Hydra it's so much worse because your units are just so inefficient. So we see starting for the Hive, very bravely deciding his one chance to win the game is to go for Hive and go for those higher tech units.
Well, he absolutely has to.
Yeah, it's really all he has to do.
The 3-3 is pretty well halfway. And if anybody who has ever hit D on their keyboard knows, 3-3 is going to ruin your life.
Yeah. And look at Ninkazi just powering. Look, he's producing so many Marines at a time, so many Marauders at a time, 2 tanks at a time, getting his
those
fourth.
medevacs are just allowing him to tank this Hydra fire.
He's maxed, and this is just,
push.
he's just going to push to GG.
Yeah.
interested in if P Sosa does the. Oh, there we go. Okay, so P Sosa not wasting any time. He's GGing right out. No Ninkazi GG timing. But yeah, so decent game. Really felt that P Sosa had the opportunity that game to do quite a bit of damage with the early push, but really didn't really capitalize on killing all those early Marines. A little bit of a silly decision.
Yeah, exactly. He just was turtling past the point of reason while not having like any reciprocal economic gains from the turtling. Like didn't take the fourth, didn't set up a nidus. Like there wasn't. I had a hard time, and I'm not in anybody's head, but I had a hard time reading why he was doing what he was doing, because the drops were denied, no imminent harass, and he was just kind of chilling.
Yeah, I feel like P Sosa is focusing very. He's like, okay, what kills me if I ever try to get drops? I'm gonna shut down drops, and he's doing a great job shutting down drops. Like no one can take that against him. He's taken basically no damage from drops his entire game, drops or war prisms, nothing. But he's really just. He seems in these straight up engagements. He has great surrounds, great concaves, but he just doesn't seem to have. He just doesn't seem to have like the follow up planning to kill his opponent. Just like in our games against Polar, I feel like he doesn't really have like these like game goals in mind to like win the game. So he like fights like great. He like has outstanding fights, outstanding concaves with his hydras and roaches. But then that's just kind of like it. He's not really able to make the transition to those higher tech units, to your Brulords, to your Ultralisks, to your 3-3, to the Vipers. I don't think we've seen him go a single Viper any game against Ninkazi except for that game 3 that was just kind of a raffle stomp for P Sosa. But yeah, so gonna see what this game 2 has to offer. I'd really like to see P Sosa be the aggressor. It's just I feel like he's just kind of he's obviously chosen to play in a reactive way, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it comes to a point where he's just taking so much, and he's just not doing any harassment at all. That when you play these inefficient styles like Roach Hydra, where you really need to be doing damage to your opponent, it's just it's really hard. Like I feel like he's playing the game on hard mode by forcing himself to have perfect engagements, and that time that he didn't have perfect engagements, that he attacked into the siege tanks on the ramp, not ideal. And that just cost him the game basically.
Absolutely, I would agree with you. We are heading into our next game, so we are gonna head into game view here, pending my computer letting us. All right, things are great.
Good.
So Ninkazi, up 1, wants badly to eliminate this player. Deeply, truly, badly to eliminate this player. And he, off the back of some unconventional bio play, does take the first game. So that was definitely weird, unorthodox in the beginning, kind of stabilized into more traditional bio versus Roach Hydra. And Ninkazi more comfortable with bio, it would seem, than mech in the matchup. So we're probably going to see more bio, but obviously we are talking about the Terran spawning in the top left position. Teal Terran, representing guns and roaches, kind of. It is Ninkazi.
Yep. And then in the bottom right-hand position, we have from Team All Inspiration, P Sosa. So what's interesting to note is obviously this is the second game of the second place match in our group of 32, and P Sosa was the winner of last season's CSL. So he is now one game away from elimination in the round of 32, which is quite a drop off from basically crushing the competition last game, or last season.
Yeah.
He won 4-0 in the finals, he won fairly convincingly over his teammate Stark in the semis. So yeah, he put on quite a show last season. This season, if he goes out in the round of 16 or round of 32, obviously quite a big upset. Now
But that
saying that,
said,
yeah,
yeah,
Ninkazi
Ninkazi the
Ninkazi
same
is
thing.
quite a talented player, and Polar, making his triumphant return after
A
taking a
brief
little bit of a
leave.
breather off
Yeah.
for some academics focus.
Definitely a very high profile, high talent group.
Yeah,
Definitely, unquestionably. I think that when we see either this Zerg player or this Terran player eliminated, I think that it's going to be an upset, and I think that depending on which side you are, regardless, it's gonna be an upset to see that player get knocked out so early. But this could very well be the last game of the night if Ninkazi does manage to fell this pink Zerg player here, and that would mean that both Polar and Ninkazi would advance on to the next round of the CSL here, and obviously the Quali, you take it away. Talk again about the my word, this bunker.
yeah. So again, we have the bunker rush. Last time, I thought it was kind of a fake bunker rush, but it turned out that Ninkazi was actually going for it. This time, it's definitely a fake bunker rush. I
Definitely
assume
fake.
because these Marines are just chilling at his
Well,
base.
he might assume that the Marines are very real.
Yeah, but it
Oh,
looks
he
like
cannot lose
Pisosa.
this SCV. There we go.
Yeah, there's no way this SUV is coming out alive. Wait, you might actually. Yeah,
He
he's
needs to
dead.
move.
Yeah. A little unfortunate for Ninkazi, but yeah, Pisos is having none of this. He is rallying his lanes right to Ninkazi's base. Luckily, Ninkazi has his two Marines, and he has two Marines on the way. Yeah, again, this is a little bit more standard play going for Marine opening, that he's going into the factory. So shouldn't be too much of an issue to hold this little Marine or little Ling force.
Yeah, absolutely. So early shenanigans, fake bunker, everything aside, uh, kind of early for the double gas. Is that early?
Yeah, out
That's
of
early.
Pisosa, it's okay. I'm gonna make the call once again. I'm predicting roaches. I'm predicting roaches. I'm predicting lair. I'm predicting upgrades, and I'm predicting aggression out of Pisosa. Just because, well, not only is that the way I think he should play, that's the way I enjoy playing Zerg. Just that more aggressive style,
Yeah.
and getting double gas at 36 like he did, and there's Roach Horn. So gonna be roaches. With his next gas, I'd assume he's gonna spin it on lair.
Oh, and this is the same timing
Mm-hmm.
from their previous game coming out of Ninkazi here.
Yep, it's the very fast Hellbat Marine push.
So this Roach Warren
It's a little
could
later
literally
than
save
normal,
his
yeah.
life,
Um,
and I
oh, and
think it very
The
well
Ling
may.
spouts it. Look, the Ling sees the SVs. Just outstanding scout with that Ling. Really great
He
timing out of
knows.
Pisosa. Yeah,
Queen
so
being
he's
pulled
pulling
from
the
the
Queen.
main,
He's been saving money. He's
all
saving money. He's
drones
pulling
pulled,
all his drones. So yeah,
roaches in
he's
production.
8 roaches. So yeah, these should do very little. Oh, he's actually gonna try and target down the roach warren.
That's a
Interesting
good
decision here.
call. That's a great
Yeah,
call. No drones on that line. Needs to make sure he
yeah,
can handle. And he's going to
interesting.
camp on top of this larva and be in a great position to intercept half of these spawning roaches. This is exceptional.
Yeah. Oh, SCV is a little AFK, not repairing exactly where he wants, but it's just he killed the roach one, so there can be no reinforcements. Pisos has got to rebuild that. SCV is not really doing
The
much
surround
of
here.
anything. Yeah, that was actually really, really, really well handled by
He,
Pisos. SCVs just kind of went AFK and were just chilling, repairing
yeah,
themselves.
I think that potential moment of being on that larva as it spawned, that's what he should have been doing. He should not have been attacking this hatchery. He was attacking the hatchery. Was like, okay, I'm gonna deny the second, but he should have known roaches were spawning, and he should have camped that larva, denied that, pulled back away from this queen line here, and then repositioned himself, knowing there's no more roaches coming.
Yeah, it's a tough call.
Oh, he needs to burrow this mine.
Oh, it's gonna
Oh,
die.
that's sad. That's always so sad to see.
Yeah, he's gonna be able to hold this quite easily, but he's gonna force a pull on the SVs to repair. So yeah, P Sosa definitely ahead. He's taking his third. He's got Lair on the way. Would really like to see him third on double Evo, get upgrades started, and just kind of power that Roach force if that is what he decides to stick with, or like go into kind of a more traditional Ling Bane.
Yeah.
So it looks like Ninkazi is going to play just super standard bio play. Like I feel like this is definitely what he's most comfortable with. As we saw on that Iron Fortress game, he was not really a mech expert, to say the least. But
Yeah.
his bio definitely seems more in his wheelhouse. Oh, and Spire going down from Pisosa. Interesting.
And he did rebuild the Roach Warren. Does have comfort roaches if anything comes his way, but I think that
Yeah.
he's just gonna scout. He's gonna see that Ninkazi is very firmly on two
Bio.
bases.
What I don't understand. Okay, so we see he's making more roaches. He doesn't have speed on the way. There's a double Evo. So I guess he's going like Roach Muta or Roach Corruptor.
It could be Roach Bane Corruptor.
Yeah, that could. It's definitely a powerful comp. So here we have the Metavex, and again, he starts a Spore. Wait, where's the Spore? Yeah, Spore at the natural. So just so good drop defense from Pisosa, like really exceptional. Definitely something you want to try and incorporate into your play if you're a Zig player who's struggling with losing tons of drops. But the Spore Crawler goes down, Roach is in position. There's really honestly no way he can take any sort of damage from these drops at all, unless it just gets incredibly unlucky.
Yeah.
Gonna do a double front drop, but even the second drop of Marines, he's gonna drop onto a Spore, onto a Queen, and onto Roaches. So
He
yeah,
needs to
not
start
gonna
fire
have to do
drones,
damage.
and the drone roast does start on this base. He is gonna get a couple for his trouble, but he needs to pick up and run. Yeah. Getting some mileage out of here, and he's gonna go into the main, and he's gonna drop this natural at the same time. Unfortunately, multitasking, you can only have so much, and he
Yeah, decent Widowmine shot. Does
loses the
kill
medevac.
10 workers.
That hurts.
Yeah, but then so it is gonna be, I guess, Roach Mita.
And through the spore. Oh
Oh
wow,
yeah, it goes down. So yeah, that was an
that's
incredibly costly drop.
horrendous.
And we see finally the third CC being started. Not really sure what the rationale was for delaying that. It seems like, honestly, I don't understand why Ninkazi. I feel like Ninkazi just keeps playing cute, and when we see him do his like major damage, it's when he just decides to just attack. Like I
His
don't understand why
mutas
he's
are
like
gonna
just doing all
gonna
this
hit
drops. Yeah,
at
hits
the
right
right
before the
time.
turrets.
This SCV is not gonna finishes. There you go. So that's that.
Yeah. Yeah, so Ninkazi's sitting 60 supply down against a really interesting comp, which is Roach Muta. Not really sure it'll be able to. I guess, okay, Muta's to kill tanks, Roaches to kill everything else. So when you have like a outstanding econ lead, I can really see how it would work. But it's
Yeah.
going to be interesting.
Definitely.
Just kind of macroing up. He is taking a fourth. So Pisos are kind of learning from his mistakes last game. He's taking an earlier fourth. He's getting better tech. And yeah, so Ninkazi's moving out, but look how small his army is.
Look how
Just
small
like
that
a
army is.
pitiful army, yeah.
It's so
Like,
small.
just Roaches kills this, and on top of that, he has so many meters. He's sitting at 15 meters. Anytime
Huge
Ninkazi leads these
army.
tanks unattended, just gonna snipe them with meters.
Yeah. This is a truly an unfortunate fortunate situation, and he feels the pressure, needs to deny the Zerg his macro, but he is 70 supply under.
Yeah, there we go. There's a
It's
snipe
just
on the
like-
tank.
It's just like Jesus. And the Marines here retreating, loads up, gonna try to. And the Zerg player here is extremely comfortable denying him his third. He sees the third spots, and Ninkazi's gonna try to take his third, but the Zerg player is already starting to get established on his fourth.
Yeah,
And
it seems
this
seems
is so
almost silly
uphill.
to mention, but
Yeah.
Pisosa is now maxed. So, okay, the conceivable way Ninkazi wins is if Pisosa just decides he wants to sit back and just be fancy with mutas. And then somehow Ninkazi manages to get, 160, 170 supply. But it looks like Pisosa is not gonna fall into that trap. He's gonna move out with his 2-2.
Oh
He's gonna
wow,
crush.
another big pickup here.
Oh, and the drop. Oh, Ninkazi with the drops. Just, I guess he's just under the mindset that he just has to keep trying.
Well, he has to.
Yeah.
He has no choice.
So yeah, just scans going down, and we see the huge concave coming
Huge
from every
concave
direction.
coming out.
Muta's actually just all dying.
Beautiful, beautiful concave here. Does pick up, trying to get into a better position. Very noble of him to continue to play this out and drop and do the smart choice.
Yeah, but
Roaches can't shoot this, and he's not going to lose it. So he needs to reset up here. He's incredibly behind, but he did not lose the game yet.
yeah, it's he's now his supply's been doubled, so it's gonna be definitely an uphill battle. Yeah, see, these roaches just really like not great. Like, look, the supply's dropping so fast. Yeah, so roach is just not really what you want against equal upgrades Terran.
Yeah.
But I honestly, the supply difference is so massive. But look,
So
see,
massive.
Sosa is still he's remaxing on 20 meters or 20.
You don't.
Not meters,
Yeah, it's
20,
just
20
it's
roaches,
noble. It's noble, but the income, he has literally twice the income of this
Yeah.
Terran player here.
Interestingly, right now, Ninkazi definitely has a stronger army, I would say. Although these corruptors will just munch these medevacs.
Army value twice for the Zerg player.
Yeah.
So
But his army is so inefficient.
that's true, and it won't scale. But he's already, the main is pretty well saturated. The natural is does not have the SCVs on it. He's distance mining. I don't know what's going on with his income here.
Oh, he's trying to do a doom drop. He's gonna doom drop like an army based on corruptors. I honestly think he could almost just straight up fight this army if he has good positioning up a ramp or on top of a ramp.
That could be the case.
Yeah, but instead, look, he's moving out with the corruptors. Wait, where's he going with this army?
He's gonna try to drop one of the bases.
Yeah, and look, in turn, he's
But
just
he
gonna
needs
die.
that army.
Yeah, I
He
feel like
doesn't
this
have
is.
this breathing room.
I feel like this is the wrong decision. It's kind of hard to say because it might have been his only decision, but it also feels a little like the wrong decision. So he's dropping into the fourth. But he's dropping into spines and spores.
He's just gonna A-move this huge army. And
Yeah.
I think that full-on base trade is pretty well in effect here at this point.
Yeah, it's he's gonna have 3-3 in about a minute and a half.
Yeah.
So maybe if he survives this magically, Pisosa will make the worst fights known to mankind, and then Kazi will be able to win. But
I don't think that's gonna be the case
Yeah.
here. Roach is
No.
streaming back. This poor holdout bio army. He's gonna load up. Roaches don't shoot up. He's just gonna pick off the corruptors at home, and basically try desperately to get this game somehow in his favor.
yeah, he's fighting valiantly, but it's
Corruptors picking up the exit plan.
picking up the medevacs.
Income
Yeah, it's
literally
just-
0 for our Terran player.
Yeah,
This
he
is
has
it.
0 minerals.
So I think Ninkazi just being spiteful at this point. So honestly, this is good for Bitcoin, and no, I'm just kidding. This is good for us. It's a very hype potential 1-1
Yeah,
closer
it's-
to this
I think it's
long,
definitely gonna be one.
yeah, long
Yeah.
series of StarCraft games tonight, and
Yeah.
to end on a 1-1, all the marbles, TVZ, I think is the ideal scenario for everybody. So
Yeah, this is for everything. Both these players definitely want to
they want
advance to
it. They
CSL.
want to advance, and
Since they're
maybe
both Masters players,
yeah,
this is
embarrassing to have a diamond qualify over you
and
a
it's
little
also
bit.
this is like basically their CTL experience. This is what they want to be in.
Yeah,
Um,
they've both seen the CTL grow from its inception. They both realize that this is a hugely advantageous thing that has been added for players of their level, and
yeah,
I think that they both want desperately to eliminate the other player personally as well. This is
yeah. There's
personal,
there's
and
no love lost.
it's great. It's great. It builds a narrative. I'm for it. If they want to be as BM to each other in game respectfully, tactfully, then that's okay.
Yeah, but just looking to say this game, we have 7 Broodlords, and Pisose is finally supplementing his Roach army with other tech
Something
units.
else.
Yeah, he's got 3-3 on the way. He's got Roaches, he's got Hydras, he's got Broodlords, and this is the game.
We might see
There's
the GG
literally
here.
no way that Ninkazi can win. It's yeah, it's just I believe in the power of Terran as much as the next person, but this is too much. Basically, SCVs and Vikings
Hydra's
can
finally
off
getting into
stuff out,
position
yeah.
and hitting those Vikings. It's not to say that it mattered, but those Hydras needed to be there. GG is
And the
called.
GG.
We are moving on to the
Three.
official last game of
Yes.
the night. Incredible hype here. Incredible. Last game of the night. TVZ 1v1 grudge match. We could not be asking for a better situation here. So very good. Very good. So we gonna see 2 high-level players play for
Yeah.
all the marbles, the advancement spot, and this is again the CSL, a individual player competition for the Chobo kind of a what's the big Chobo championship? What's the big cajone at the end of all of this?
It's like
CCS. It's
this,
like
you get like CCS points, I believe.
yeah, basically to explain to persons, this is the last game of a round of 16 advancement for an individual placement tournament, and advancing in this tournament and taking the eventual tournament title gives you lots of points, and these points are used to qualify you for I believe it's WCS style grand.
Yes, exactly. At the end of the year, top
Yeah,
16.
grand final. And actually, based on my my performance in my CTL matches, I'm very, 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 very much at the bottom, but I am on that list.
That's good.
Team Unrivaled Cobalt on
yeah,
the list.
I think I'm 5th. I want to say.
Yeah, you're up there.
Yeah,
With that
okay,
humble
let's
brag.
let's look at the standings. Yeah, I'm
I
5th
see
right
you.
now.
I see you, Quali. I see you.
Cobalt, where are you on this little list here? You are 99th.
Holding
you
it down.
You are
Holding
on
it
the
down.
list. Yes, you are
I'm
on the
holding it
list.
down. I got
P.
it.
Sosa is actually
Get that
our
on lock.
leader. Our leader right now, with quite a substantial lead over BCX, who is the next place player.
Yeah.
And then Nikazi is 10th. So these
Yeah.
players are very much in the running for the
Yeah.
end of the season tournament. So it looks like the next map is going to be Expedition Lost, Nikazi's pick. Interesting map is there. I'm not really sure why a Terran player would pick it, because I just feel it's so strong for those like roach attacks. You kill those rocks, then you just multi-prong attack Terran to death. So it's going to be interesting to see if Ninkazi has a plan. Yeah, so we'll see what he has in mind.
Definitely. And this is for all of the marbles. Polar, Team Unrivaled's Protoss player, having advanced, and these 2 players fighting it out for that second advancement spot. And we cannot articulate and stress enough just what a big deal this is to these 2. That they both win and that they knock out the other player.
Yeah.
Because nobody would expect either of them to lose at this stage. Everybody expected these guys to go all the way both very, 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 very prominent, high-profile players and personalities within the Chobo Team League.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
These are two of the best, the best.
two of the best, and two of the most high-profile. This is going to be a bitter, 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 bitter pill for both of their teams to swallow here if their player does not make it out here and loses specifically to the other person that he's playing. So I'm giddy. I love the CTL drama sometimes, and if it doesn't involve UR, I sign me up. I'm in. And a UR player advancing off the back of this and getting to watch All In and GNR kill each other, I could not be happier. I could not be happier. So heading into our final 110% all the marble game.
This is it.
This is it. It is spawning in the top right position. It is Guns and Roaches' very own Ninkazi. Incredibly well-known player in the league. Captain for a very, very long time. Well-known. We'll see what he brings to the table. Hopefully it's not some more of that weird marine bunker stuff.
And then in the bottom 7 o'clock position, we have from All Inspiration, I would say their ace, their top-of-the-line player, we have P. Sosa. So yeah, like we were mentioning earlier, this map, interesting map because there's back rocks and your main, obviously. Layout, not too interesting, not too... Fourth is a little hard to take, third is pretty easy.
The rocks are significant.
Yeah, but the rocks are
Roach Hydra
definitely,
player.
That is the the standout feature of the map.
For a Roach Hydra player, the rocks are definitely significant. I think P. Souza has established himself as a Roach Hydra player. And if you're going Ling Bane, rocks drop off in significance because you can only get so much surface area on them. But Roach Hydra can just bust those down, get in a great position, and start doing some damage. So that is incredibly significant here. And we're going to see a pull first. Maybe expecting bunker shenanigans from Ninkazi here.
Super safe.
Yeah.
As it's really been his modus operandi throughout the entire series. P. Sosa, I feel like he's a confident player. He knows his abilities, and he feels that as long as he goes on equal footing, he's going to be able to take the games from his opponents. And thus far he hasn't been too wrong. He's sitting in the second place match, best of 3 in the third game.
Okay. Hatch coming down.
Yeah.
So no shenanigans from Rerzerg.
Honestly, no shenanigans from either player. No. Interestingly enough, again Marine first from Ninkazi, same build, Marine first into CC.
Yeah.
With a SCV Scout. Gonna see what this Marine does. I think the Marine's Overlord hunting. If I had to guess, or Bunker Rush.
I think we'll find out here shortly, but I think bunker coming down.
Bunker. Interesting.
And the Marine is beelining for it.
Yeah.
However,
and
this
look,
early pool, this early pool is just gonna deny. Does he? Yeah, these links. This is the smart call. He's gonna, in case there is any real threat.
Oh, there goes the Marine.
Yeah, if there's a real threat of bio, he's gonna be there to intercept.
Yeah, this is really rough. Ninkazi just rallying bio across the map. Okay, he's finally turning his brain around. He's building a bunker at home. But he's gonna have to have some fancy micro. Oh, the bunker actually finishes, and the SCV is gonna be able to.
SCV is gonna stay alive. He could mineral walk that out of here if he felt like it.
Okay, so the SCV building his command center is gonna be picked off.
It's gonna be picked off here.
So yeah, this is just so detrimental for Ninkazi. Yeah. He's gonna pull quite a few workers and have his Marines. He just, under no circumstances, wants that to die.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And the lost mining time, arguably worth. Doesn't lose. Yeah. Good SCV micro. Good job.
Good SCV micro.
Good on him. He's probably going to...
3 workers. Or, well, 2 workers there, 1 worker that built a bunker.
Resources lost, favoring our Zerg player at this point.
Okay, now he's building 3 bunkers. So he's basically totally misreading this game.
Oh, yeah.
P. Sosa is just... What was that? P. Sosa says. Basically saying the question we were all wondering. Yeah, so that's what I was wondering. I thought it was the snipe the Overlord, but then he just kind of built a bunker. So yeah, P. Sosa is a little like, what the fuck? But just gonna macro up, going into roaches again. Unfortunately for him, he does have 5 or 7 workers. He's rallying to the gas, so he has 7 workers at his natural gas instead of the normal 3.
Yeah.
So let's see how long it takes him to fix that, because he's really missing out on mining time. 8 workers now, and now 1 gas geyser.
Yeah.
Hopefully he figures it out. It's really frustrating. I've had that happen to me on this map during my CSL group against his teammate Stark, and it was not fun.
No. And income is leveling off on the back of these mules. So
Yeah, and on the
mules-
back of him having 8 workers and 1 gas
Exactly.
geyser.
Exactly. That is a monumental error at this point, especially coming off the back of that early, unquestionable 12
12
workers. Okay. We're not going to dwell on this. Assume it gets fixed and
Yeah.
cast as if it will be fixed. So Ninkazi movie Chobos, everyone love it. It is what it is. So off the back of this early
Ninkazi
loss, muling, moving out.
like he thinks is a third. He's
Yeah.
moving to kill the third. There is no third. His Marines are actually could be successful because Pisos has nothing.
Oh
No
my
roaches in the
god!
way.
No roaches are being made.
Yeah, this is a
Wondering
little.
where his minerals are.
This is getting a little ridiculous because he should now have like a fully saturated 2-base economy, and he has
built
12
more.
workers on 1 base.
He built more drones to compensate because he saw the number was
Yeah.
low. So
He's
has
now been mining with 12 drones for like 2 minutes on this gas geyser.
Oh god,
Yeah.
this is horrible.
And I think he's doing a 2-base like aggressive play, and when you're doing one of those builds, it's so bad to have any sort of inefficiency in your play, let alone have 9 extra workers
Yeah,
on a gas geyser or
he
10 extra
needed,
workers. Yeah,
he needed to because he's gonna try and establish this third now, and his third is incredibly late because he
Yeah.
did take the time to
just
saturate
has
his
no
second.
money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
he basically
thought-
double saturated his second base, his
Yeah,
natural.
because he took extra the time to saturate, and he's
This is so painful.
it really is. But Ninkazi off the back of this is going to stabilize, is going to get his stem, and engineering bays starting, upgrades getting in place. He's probably going to either move out shortly here, or he is going to probably try to take his third. So these rocks are coming into play, using the roaches and the fact that they can all attack. However, our Terran player has vision of these roaches. And I don't
Yeah,
think he's
so
going
he
to
knows
pull a
what's going
Marine
on.
King Prime and pretend he doesn't see these Kappa. So he's going to know this is here. He's going to
Yeah.
pray this bunker finishes.
It's looking like his stem is going to finish.
Yeah,
Just in
SCVs are
time.
being
Stem
pulled.
medevacs, yeah.
And off the back of this poorly saturated second, if he holds
Yeah.
this will, yeah, he's going to run into the bunker and
Yeah, this is just
repair.
so
And he's going to hold
unfortunate.
this. And
Just so unfortunate. You really just think of how okay, that was a strong attack. I mean, really, reasonably strong attack.
Yeah.
Imagine that attack with a fully saturated third to back it up, which
because
is
it
what
would
he
have
has.
it would have hit like 30 whole seconds sooner.
If
Because he had to
if not
saturate
more.
that. Yeah, he had to saturate that second. And now Ninkazi's going to take his third. Zerg player going to have to defend his third. And honestly, as a Zerg, you kind of have a right to your third a little bit if you're not dead by 11:30. And for him to not have this saturated, have failed his attack, he is in a pretty uncomfortable position.
He's
And-
also in a terrible position, to be honest. At the 11:50 mark, basically no aggression has gone down except for that initial failed bunker rush. He should have a 4th base, and he should have a 3rd base fully saturated at this point, and he should have an army. But due to this, he's now been mining with 12 workers on a gas geyser for 6 minutes, and he's going to lose the game, in large part because of it. This attack
tank is in
yeah,
position.
it's in good position.
Marines not the best damage soaks, but
Yeah.
he is going to be rebuffed here. But that said, it forced a lot of units out of this already compromised economic.
I mean, it's 13
player.
minutes, and he still
Yeah.
doesn't have a saturated third.
And the Terran player is going to have his third. Be ready for those mules, and he's just going to have a huge uptick in economy off the back of the Zerg player trying to stabilize.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's the state of our game right now. Pisosa has a fully saturated base on one gas geyser.
This is gonna. I honestly hope he doesn't watch this VOD, because I could not. I could not. I
Yeah,
honestly, and we need to stay on the game because this is all the marbles. But I literally can't even watch some episodes of The Office because they're too awkward. And I would literally invert in on myself as a human being if I watched a caster like look at these 12 out of 3 drones repeatedly. So
yeah, I mean it's just it's such a
God.
it's not like he has like 5 workers or something.
Yeah.
It's like 12. Like it's kind of just an absurd error.
Yeah, he needs.
Unfortunately.
Ninkazi probably would have benefited from another tank here, but he's just posturing, forcing.
Yeah, I feel like it's interesting that Ninkazi's being so aggressive.
Yeah, and his
I really
the army
feel-
he's looking
yeah.
at is so much bigger than his.
Ninkazi's sitting on 43 SCVs.
There it comes. Okay, he's got some reinforcements. Gonna have the second tank. That's gonna be monumental. The second
He's sitting
tank,
on
I think.
43 SCVs.
Mm-hmm.
Just being hyper aggressive. He can't easily rebuild this army. So, in spite of all of Pisosa's economic errors, he's just gonna get crushed here.
There you go. Yeah, and again, completely underestimating the DPS of Roach Hydra there with only 2 tanks. I don't understand why he's throwing this game away in this fashion, but the supply favoring the Zerg, Ninkazi not macroing on the back of this as he should be, and this might very well be an upset.
Yeah, I don't see how he holds this. It's just so many Hydras. He's gonna lose the third for sure, and then he's gonna be on 2 bases with like 30 workers. This is I feel like the players have to be like fatigued or something, because this is just
allegedly Ninkazi is hungover.
Yeah.
And Pisuza is not on form, is what the consensus appears to be.
It's just baffling. Like, okay, he just put on an infestation pit by this gas with 12 workers. Like, I don't understand how one doesn't notice that. Like,
supply double for our Zerg player here.
yeah, it's gone into a situation where it's the same as last game.
Yeah, he needed
Ninkazi Ninkazi basically just fucked over his own econ by building 3 bunkers for no reason and refusing to build SCVs, and then just being like incredibly aggressive with bio tank.
Yeah,
and look, he's gonna
bio
die
tank without sufficient tank is not gonna deny a Zerg player his base. And
he was honestly just so confusing. He just kept doing these attacks like 10 Marines, a medevac, and a tank, and just it was dying, and then he would rebuild it and then do it again. Yeah. Okay, so he killed the third here, which is good with double drop, and he's gonna bounce away. But Pisosa just moves over to this other third.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's up 100 supply. He's up on upgrades. He's just like Ninkazi has no money. He lifted off his third, or he lost his third. He lost his natural. He has nothing.
Needs to siege those tanks immediately. Did he
just
just
target? As well.
He just shot his own tank.
And this is a game.
He just shot his own. Can you believe he would shoot his own unit twice?
Yeah. And there's the GG. So
GG is called. Sosa.